Good morning, geeks and gamers. Yes, I made it. I know a lot of you were thinking he played way too many games last night. He was up till like 4 or 5 a.m., whatever it was. But I'm here. We have Ryan Kennel, who's here, who's very happy that the Disney Star Wars numbers have been completely exposed for exactly what he said. They are who we thought they were, Ryan.
Yeah, I was super excited when those Acolyte numbers came out. And we talked about it when they tried to do the PR spin job. They tried to not mention that the 4.8 million, not only the biggest in 2024, that's like being the smartest retard or the tallest fucking midget. Not only is that not impressive, but the 4.8 million happened to include both episodes, not just the premiere. And when they were finally forced to put out the real numbers, guess what? A new low, a new record low viewership for Disney Star Wars, and that is The Acolyte. I could not be happier about that news.
I know, it's great to see the fact that we were proven right yet again.
Yet again. And back by popular demand. And look, let's just show, this shows how popular she is. She's denied me 3 times on returns, okay? Because she's such a big deal. She's about to hit 100K on subs.
Clearly it.
But back by, now, I always give her late notice, and she's always got something else scheduled. But she's finally
Jeremy
back.
thinks he's fucking Jesus, complaining about getting denied 3 times.
I know. Guy's never faced rejection in his life.
But she is back by popular demand. Vera Dark. What's up, Vera? How you doing?
Doing good, causing drama, perfect timing for a good show.
That's right. Oh, it is perfect timing.
It is.
It
That's
really
so crazy
is.
because
Scripted.
this was not like a, hey, we reached out right after the Alyssa Mercante stuff. We saw Vera going out. This was not that. This was always planned that she was going to be on this show.
That's right. That's
Just
right.
had to stir the pot a little bit so we'd have a spicy show.
That is right. And yeah, there is a lot going on. And I see a few of you that were on my stream last night too. So shout out to you for being here so early. Look who's here. Chris Gore in the house.
Chris Gore's putting out some spoilers for Acolyte episode 3, the one that's going to destroy the Force forever. So
yeah, happening tonight. Happening tonight. What time does that premiere tonight?
I've told you this fucking 5 times. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern.
I don't fucking pay attention to these fucking shitty shows. This is the first time in a while.
No, at least pay attention to me, motherfucker, because you've asked that question multiple times. Even yesterday,
maybe I'm asking for the audience.
No, you're not.
I could do a quick Google search.
Okay, sure.
I could do a quick Google search.
You
I'm too busy playing shitty Call of Duty games.
Time to answer questions that you could easily Google search.
You just need a Post-it note.
That's very true.
Jeremy like needed help solving a problem for somebody else because they couldn't figure out, and I Google searched it and found it in 5 fucking seconds. You put me on it.
It's just that easy though.
Yeah, it is, but it's a lot. I like hearing your positivity. That's why I call Ryan. That's why I
make me feel important.
That's right. That's right.
No,
yes,
that's not even true. You said the other day that every time you call me and I answer the phone, I sound like I'm going to kill myself.
It makes me feel better about myself. I'm like, whatever I'm going through, this guy's got it 10 times worse because he hates everything. So it's a confidence boost for me. So I'm having a bad day. I call Ryan. Ryan's like miserable, and I'm like, all right, you know what? It's not that bad for me anymore. Let's
Ryan's
go.
the light of positivity in our lives.
That's right. Katrina VR says, give him a break, Ryan. He's from Alabama. Yeah, Ryan, come on, man. Give me a little bit of wiggle room here. Not that big of a deal. But yes, there's a lot going on. I think we should talk about Alyssa Mercante to start out, Ryan. What do you think?
I mean, I think it's appropriate. I will say people are not happy about the thumbnail.
That
is the type of thumbnail you get when I am making the thumbnails and when I set up the stream. Okay, I go for like the ugliest shit. Some of the other thumbnails that come out, just random Sydney Sweeney or whatever, they've got a different approach. I am Mr. Negativity, so I'm gonna put the worst shit possible. But yeah,
you are off thumbnail duty from now on.
That's right.
It's working for me so far. That is really my that's the trick, right? If like a woman says something that I think is cool or base or that I like, I'll put the hottest picture I can find of her in the thumbnail.
I mean,
if she says something that like I think everyone's gonna hate, I pick the one that looks ugly as shit.
Yeah, why not?
It's worked out so well for me so far, at least.
It has. So far, so good. And you know what? The audience, they always get a reaction. We always get a reaction out of the audience with Ryan's thumbnails versus They love the Sydney Sweeney ones, which we haven't put Sydney Sweeney in a thumbnail in a while. I don't think. But there was a new video going around with her in a red dress. It was slow motion. Everybody was going crazy over it. I don't know why. I think she's just nice makeup or something she had on.
Surely,
what it was.
surely it's just the makeup.
I can't believe that boobs jiggle. It's shocking to all of us.
I know, crazy. Physics,
it's crazy.
right?
It's crazy that the internet likes boobs. I never would have saw that one, coming from a mile away.
Well, at least our audience does.
If game developers actually figured that out, they'd be making bank right now.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing.
That's a good point. But speaking of the games industry, it's been 3 months since the Suicide Squad killed the Justice League backlash and what was dubbed as Gamergate 2.0, whatever you want to feel about it. One of the people that's been at the forefront of this thing, one of the people at Kotaku, woke games journalist, it's been Alyssa Mercante. She defended Sweet Baby Inc., and it's just been kind of going up and up and up since then. She's advocated for doxing. She's contacted people's family members. She's tried to get different sites shut down, false flagged, all of these things while calling anyone that disagrees with her racist, sexist, bigot, etc., etc. Well, she's hit a new low, and she has decided to go full Frosk. Not just a rant, but even sitting on a couch in the same spot that Frosk was sitting on a couch 2 years ago, 3 years ago, surrounded by dudes that are just clapping. The only thing it was missing was a talk to him Frosk.
This is amazing, dude. I didn't hear about this until late yesterday, and people were telling me about it. And I saw it, and I'm like, oh my God. Because I mean, not just me, but so many others were basically like, this is Frosk 2.0. This is going to be G4 2.0. And here we are. It's so amazing. This has worked out exactly like so many people predicted. No self-awareness whatsoever. This is incredible.
What's funny about this is in that original Frosk rant, the completionist was sitting next to her, and we know everything that happened with him. But if you watch this one, the guy who's sitting next to her left in like the maroon shirt, blinking very quickly is a sign of anxiety, and his eyes are going crazy. He's like, oh no, here we go, guys. We have to deal with this again.
He's like, please switch to a different camera. Please switch to a different
camera.
Don't
go this way. Don't do it.
Now, who is this group of people? Who are they? Do we know generally? Like,
I am someone who talks about the video game industry every day. I have no fucking clue who any of these people are. Straight up. I have no idea who any of these guys are at a glance.
It was a show that they were doing for Summer Games Fest and stuff like that. I do not know what the original source of this is. GB. That's the only hint we have to where the actual source of this is. I'm sure people are now going to find it and pull it up. But we do have 43 seconds of Alyssa Mercante right here. A lot of similarities to the Frosk rant include be a little nicer to everybody. Everyone just needs to be nicer while I'm an absolute bitch.
Now,
and all the zoom-ins and the cinematography. So scripted.
Somebody in the chat said it, and it's true. She's legit worse than Frosk. She's actually worse than Frosk. She's taken the Frosk stuff to a whole different level. She is far worse than Frosk at this point in time. Frosk at least knew, like, at some point when to just walk away from everything, and we don't know what she's doing anymore.
I don't necessarily know if I agree, though, because it was almost exactly to the day a year before her big G4 rant. She had went on another rant about the esports industry being blindingly white and white as far as the eye could see. But she had been doing that for years, like once a year. Surprisingly, she had gone on similar rants to try to gain some kind of notoriety in the esports scene. And the one at G4 is the one that picked up a lot of attention. So I don't know. Frosk had been trying it for years to fail. Now, Alyssa, she just happened to put up that Sweet Baby article and got a shit ton of attention at first. And now this, and of course, she's causing a lot of drama on social media. But I'd say they're pretty equal in terms of.
I would think the doxing and all of that, though, the doxing and reaching out to family members in private is where she takes it to a whole nother level.
Oh, yeah.
I think that if you're talking about in terms of behavior and consistent behavior over a period of time, I think Alyssa Mercante way worse than Frosk. If you're talking about in context of a singular rant, I would say Frosk's is worse because Frosk was on the show talking to her audience.
Oh,
Whereas
yeah.
this
Yeah.
bitch is just virtue signaling towards anybody with the trans flag or pronouns or the people that make up 1% of the actual gaming audience to further her cause. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we're talking about it. We might as well just let her say it.
You know what I want? What you really, really want? I want people in the industry to be a little bit louder about people being mean to other people and maybe say it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe say we don't want you around if you're going to be a cunt
Yeah.
and hateful. And that the games industry is diverse naturally. Not because anyone's making them be diverse, because the world is diverse, you stupid motherfucker. And if you have a problem with that, come fight me physically, bitch.
Has anyone taken you up on that yet?
No, because they're all pussies.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Unhinged behavior.
This is like
Everyone needs to be a little nicer, you stupid motherfuckers, okay?
I know she's talking about how mean people can be and how they need to talk about how, oh, well, these people, of course, referring to YouTubers, are being mean on the internet. It's hilarious. Look at what she's doing.
This is amazing.
I don't think anyone needs to be nicer. I really couldn't give two shits. But when you are one of the people saying that everyone needs to be a little nicer, it's because like what she's doing, her behavior, she doesn't think that those people are worthy of being nice. She doesn't view them as fucking human if they disagree with her about games. And there's so many similarities between these freaking rants. It's almost hard to imagine that this thing like wasn't just scripted out and like intentionally trying to be something like that.
And the hilarious thing is this happened on the Giant Bomb channel. I didn't even realize Giant Bomb was still around. That's how irrelevant they are.
And now, who is that? They used to be a big channel.
Yeah. They used to be pretty relevant. But like G4, they faded into irrelevancy because they don't understand what people want to watch. And I don't think they've quite fallen off at that level, but Giant Bomb has not been popular in a very long time.
Well, this isn't going to help their popularity for sure. And
Yeah,
this will give them a nice little temporary bump in relevancy because everybody's roasting them and they'll think that it's good for them, but in reality it's not. But of course, if Alyssa Mercante is surrounding herself with this group of people, then you already know what they're all about, because she wouldn't be hanging out with anyone that doesn't line up with her bullshit. And she feels comfortable enough to go on this insane rant challenging people to fights while telling people to be nicer. Holy shit. It's unbelievable.
If only there was somebody that was willing to take her up on that. I don't know.
I have no idea who would do that. Now, I get she wouldn't want to fight a male. I get that she would never in a million years take any male up on that. But it'd be a shame if there was just no female in the industry who would take her up on a fight.
And
we did have this person. We did. Vera Dark, I guess. I'm not sure. Can't hit up this little bitch who's hiding behind a block. So send me a DM and let's talk match details.
Let's go.
Yeah, why not? She has had me blocked for months. And by the way, I feel like she should, I don't know, maybe actually hit me up, because if she wants to put me on her stupid little YouTuber hit list, which 7 of my videos were on that list, she clearly knows who I am. She clearly knows that I'm talking about her, and she's clearly watching content that I'm affiliated with. So why the fuck wouldn't she actually hit me up? She clearly is watching what I'm doing. So she's clearly probably seen that tweet already.
So I've just retweeted Vera Dark's tweet. So let's get the tweet going. She's calling out Alyssa Mercante, or she's responding to Alyssa Mercante, and I don't think you're going to hear a response.
Oh, of course
not. I don't think you're going to hear a response.
She doesn't even want to sit and talk to people she disagrees with, because in every video and every piece of content I've made on her, I have said I will sit down and have a debate with you. You know, we can actually sit down and talk like normal adult human beings, even if we disagree on fundamentally everything. But she won't even talk to people she doesn't like, let alone actually have to meet up with them and communicate with them on a regular basis for a few months. You know, she's not interested in that. She just simply wanted a Frosk type of clip. She's just farming at this point.
What an unhinged lunatic she is. And to me, this is a sign that all of the, like, she's tried to play it up. Remember this was back when all of this first started, where she posted a picture of herself, like, all the trolls are so mad and I'm just here living my life. Can't be bothered by it. And then the next day she's gone to protected mode, locks down her account. Then she goes on a mass blocking spree.
She causes all of these arguments and starts all of this drama, but she doesn't want to back it up.
Yep, absolutely.
The truth is that when we look at the Frosk grant for G4, that effectively killed G4. Now, there was a lot of things that were against them in the beginning, how much overhead they had, how much they were spending for things that people can do from their bedrooms, from their spare rooms, wherever it may be. So there was a lot of problems. G4 was likely not going to be successful. But she killed any chance that they had, and they were shut down basically a year after that rant, maybe even less. But when it comes to Kotaku, they've been 1 foot in the grave for the past couple years, layoffs and layoffs, restructuring. They're not long for it to be actually the same way that they have been. We heard that the people in the upper management wanted them to change, wanted them to stop doing some of this stuff. That got put on pause for a little while. But Alyssa Mercante probably knows that the vast majority of gamers don't agree with this shit, but she's just going to continue to push and push and push and gaslight everybody, just like we've seen time and time again for the past 3 months.
Exactly. And Kotaku would never let her do this. Let's keep it a buck. Kotaku would never let her, go into a fight and take sponsors. First of all, other outlets like The Gamer and Polygon are not going to back her because they don't want to be affiliated with our types of channels, as they describe them, because they don't actually want to say anything mean about us because they're little bitches. But she knows for a fact that it would cause such a uproar on social media that would be hilarious, but Kotaku would not want that to happen.
Well, G&G will sponsor Vera Dark if we can get this lined up.
If
we can make that happen.
I will do it.
Let's make it happen, internet. Let's go. We can make this happen. It'll be a glorious day. But we all know that Alyssa Mercante is not going to accept, even though she's the one throwing out the challenges to the internet. She's doing it.
That's exactly what Frost did as well. She had put up tweets and tweets about how nobody wanted to debate her. And here's my, agent's email. And it was a fake email. It didn't go anywhere. So she said, no one will debate me. You couldn't contact her. She had everyone blocked, her accounts privated, putting out fake emails. It's pathetic. And that's what Alyssa is. That's what Frosk is. That's what all of these people are. Pathetic.
Agreed. Well said.
We got a big $50 super chat from Dave Chandler. Their world obviously isn't diverse because the same twisted freaks somehow end up positions of power throughout the gaming industry and every other industry. Skin colors and sexual preferences may differ, but it's the same mindset everywhere. The idea that no one's forcing diversity. No, it absolutely is. And it's because the same people of the same mindset, just like Alyssa Mercante, made from the same cloth, they are in positions of power all throughout the gaming industry now. So they are the ones who internally created the demand for then these consultancy companies to be created and actually be able to survive because the people in power in gaming are activists. It's been taken over. At least in AAA 100%. Gaming spaces.
100%. And it's pathetic to see, but it's also hilarious to see because the reason why narrative consultation companies are so prevalent in the industry now is because of Gamergate 1 and because of people like Anita Sarkeesian, who cried about how they were being harassed and humiliated, even though they call Gamergate 1 a harassment campaign when it was really just about ethics and journalism. And then you had Feminist Frequency, which was Anita Sarkeesian's company, shut down 2 months before Gamergate 2 started. So it's all very suspiciously timed, but she was basically like, I did what I needed to do. I changed the industry in the way that I think it should be changed. Now all of these companies exist and they can do what they want.
Yep. Sorry, I'm trying. There's so much going on right now. Everybody's screaming about this guilty verdict for Hunter Biden. I was seeing if this is true. I don't think it's true yet. I don't think that they've announced anything yet, but maybe I'm wrong. I know that's not gaming related, but the whole chat's going crazy over it. But is he actually guilty? All counts? There's no fucking way. To me, that's like Is anybody seeing if that's confirmed or not? The freaking chat. I know you guys are speaking it
It
into
just says
existence.
that they've reached a verdict.
Yeah, I don't see any
From what I
actual
see.
tweets of saying.
I heard the cousin of one of the jurors said on Facebook that he's guilty.
Oh, there it is. Benny Johnson just tweeted out. Jury finds Hunter Biden guilty on all counts on his federal gun trial. Holy fuck. Well, I guess you're getting an emergency Cobra cast today, so we will talk about that over on D-Day Cobra a little more. Holy shit.
The Wolf from Heart for 199 hashtag rescue Dave Filoni's dog. Too late for that pup. We'll just put it that way. Freaks and Flamers for 669. Thanks for making the channel, Jeremy. Shout out to the soft boys, Figs and Flamers. Hail the 6969. Agent X for 5. RIP to Benny the comic story.
Yeah.
He got so many people in the comics, including me. I saw
That
that
was
yesterday. Details still seem to be a little sparse. I think his wife just said it was some
She said it
sort
was
of
an
accident.
accident. Yeah, that's all his wife tweeted out.
That's sad.
Crazy.
That sucks. I imagine that nearly everyone in the chat that has any interest level in comics or in the space has at some time seen a comic story video.
Definitely.
So that's really sad. Really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very shocking news, and I don't think I know everybody wants to know more specifics. I don't think that that's really important right now. It's just let the family grieve and go through the process. That's awful, but RIP for sure.
Sir Hat for 5. There's no way they made the Nemoidians sound not Japanese because they'd sound too much like Soul, right? I think they made the Nemoidians not sound that way because they believe, like other people, that George Lucas was racist for having them have those accents. That's what I personally think.
100%. I totally agree.
Thoughts on fitness with Nigel. This is the best stream. They capture the pop culture temperature, the most important daily magazine. It's that important. Keep it up.
Thanks,
Nigel.
That's nice. Yeah, you guys don't used to say nice stuff around here about us.
Because I'm here, so everyone wants to create a
true.
positive atmosphere. No one wants to be
true.
accused of harassment and being mean to a girl on the internet. Everyone's being nice.
Hey, you fucking simps.
I know.
Bill Prime Gaming. Comic historian has died on June 8th. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Gary's Beard Dingleberries for 2. Jeremy, you're out of sync.
I'm always out of sync.
Yeah, I didn't even... when you switched browsers and came back yesterday, you were worse than you were when you left. I didn't say anything because it doesn't fucking matter.
I don't even understand why this works the way it's whatever. Somebody the other day was thanking me for my my volume levels on my gaming streams. They're like, unlike Beardos, I appreciate it. It was Samuel. He sent a super chat. And I'm like, yeah, I really, focus on that stuff. No, but whenever I'm doing the OBS,
I'm just
well, I am, but with OBS, it's much better as long as I'm not using StreamYards with OBS. God,
yeah.
Technology is just. I'm going back to a Blue Yeti and a cheap webcam. That's what I'm gonna do. Life was easier. Life was easier when I had cheaper equipment. It was much easier.
Those shitty Turtle Beach headsets.
Oh, remember Turtle Beaches?
They're still around.
Yeah, I know they are.
Garbage.
I know they are.
It's just nostalgic.
The Exalted Patriarch for 5. Chris Gore's changing his show name to Film Thread. Psych. Hail Chris. Hail F47. Hail the 199.
Okay, I know you're being sarcastic, tweeted Tone. Jeremy is so nice and awesome at Fortnite and Call of Duty. He's just too good beyond measure, and he's definitely not as toxic as 2018. I'm so glad Jeremy has become a nicer person now more than ever. That is a bullshit statement.
Well, I actually agree with he's not as toxic as he was in 2018 or whatever.
Well, I mean, I'm definitely not as bad as I was, mainly because I don't respond on Twitter, because Twitter is the source of all negativity in the world. If you respond on Twitter, if you interact on Twitter, you're automatically going to be a much more miserable person in life if you do that consistently.
True.
Shockingly enough, Ryan's the one that taught me to not respond on Twitter.
Yeah.
Shockingly enough.
I couldn't help but respond to somebody yesterday, though.
We need a good unhinged Ryan Twitter rant. That's what we need.
I barely tweet anymore. I tweeted because that Acolyte stuff was just so good. I couldn't not tweet about it. And in my replies, someone's like, imagine spending all day tweeting about streaming numbers or wasting your life on Twitter tweeting about streaming numbers. And so I look at this dude, and he had tweeted more times in the past hour than I had in a month. I couldn't help. I said, I've tweeted 7 times. I've sent 7 tweets in the month of June. I'll make it 8 to call you a retarded queer. You've tweeted more than that in the past 2 hours. I did have to reply to somebody. Where the fuck am I? Tobias. First thing I saw on Twitter today was mostly naked Sydney Sweeney. Then I see the thumbnail this morning. He went directly opposite. Thanks, G&G. We're all about balance here. Rolando for 2. Vera, can you fight her?
I will. If she hits me up, I'll figure it out. Well, I'll help figure it out. First of all, she should be the one to set it up because she's the one who issued it. But I'll be generous and help. Hey, I said I'd put $1,000 on the line.
There you go.
Look at that, man. She's serious, Alyssa Mercante. You listening? Where you at?
I told
Alyssa
her.
might be able to not have to do OnlyFans anymore if she, makes enough money from this fight.
Maybe. I also said though that the loser had to issue a public apology, so she'd have to on Kotaku, and I would have to in a video. I think that right there is the deal breaker. She would never do that. She would never.
Probably not.
Apologize? Does she even know how to say sorry? I don't think so.
Ellie Reen for 10. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Thank you, Ellie. Derek PG Beller for 199. Great panel today, and Ryan's here as well. Yeah, thank you.
I'm glad you joined us today, Ryan.
Yeah, me too.
You're just a ray of sunshine and positivity.
That's what I'm known for.
Yeah.
And this, hail Jeremy, hey Vera, Ryan, your forehead large.
Am I the only one?
What are you talking about?
Holy shit, you both froze up on me, so it must have been me. I thought it was you, Ryan.
We were having a nice conversation.
We were.
Fuck me. There we go.
T-Dog.
StreamYards is all fucked up.
It's storming here, so I might end up with a little buffering. I don't know. T-Dog for 5. Does anyone else find it funny, ironic how the winner of the box office this past weekend was a movie about the police? We Are Winning, MAGA 2024. Also featuring 2 black dudes. I don't know where all those racists went to. I don't know what happened. They went and saw it, and it's not being review bombed. It's got a 97% audience score. Weird how that works.
And people really are seeming to like Bad Boys 4. I've heard nothing but a lot of good positive stuff about it. So
but a lot of positivity.
Yeah, there's no agenda other than, hey, a shoot 'em up funny movie.
Yeah.
Right? That's what people want. And Hollywood has not been able to comprehend that for years at this point. Maybe they're finally learning. I wouldn't hold my breath, though.
No, they have not. They have not learned. Not even close. Especially with something that's going to happen in November that's only going to break their brains even more.
Yep.
So they haven't learned anything.
And just because we do get that doesn't even necessarily mean it's going to be successful. I thought The Fall Guy was good. I thought it was a movie like that I thought should have taken off a little bit more than it did. It didn't. But Bad Boys certainly has a good chance to made double what Furiosa made in its opening weekend at the box office, and it was made for about half the money. So,
yeah.
Rooster Cogburn. If gaming is naturally diverse, then everything she does is irrelevant.
Yeah.
D's Webos, Frosk, Danik, and Mercante, same mullets. Yes, we call that hairstyle a red flag.
Or a Ryan Kennel.
I mean,
he took that personally.
Wait, what do you mean? I don't have a mullet.
No, I know, but you have the lesbian haircut going on between you and Disparu.
Oh, I thought you were implying that I would fuck Alyssa Mercante.
No.
So Ryan, I have a question. Would you?
Yeah, in the right circumstance, probably. Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's what I thought you were asking. So, Dan Ryman for 10. Jay needs to start training to fight this troglodyte. Thank you. A Money Wilson for 5. Per Stuttering Craig, Xbox paid $250 million to put Suicide Squad game on Game Pass. If that's true, that
hasn't been announced.
It would also be a tough, that would basically pay for Suicide Squad in and of itself.
Yeah, that's
would.
Yeah, that's wild. I can't believe Black Ops 6 is coming to the Game Pass. Can't believe Black Ops 6 is coming to a Game Pass. That's huge.
Yeah, that's really
huge
big.
for Game Pass.
It's really I think that the push for Game Pass like that has really fucked up a lot of the way traditionally games have sold and are done, because when you look at it, when it comes to sales and when it comes to like energy behind something, there's so much less when it comes to, hey, the idea that somebody could buy your $70 game on launch, or you have 50 million fucking people who don't have to pay shit more than, I don't know what the exact numbers. I'm just throwing out a random 50 million number. They don't have to pay shit and just have access to that immediately. It's changed everything. I don't think it's worked for Xbox, but they're staying the course. They're not changing. That is their business model.
Yeah.
And they're going to go down with the ship if they have to.
Yeah, it's definitely not a winning strategy for them. I mean, they've got so much extra money that they have so much money with just, they've lost money with Xbox for as long as I can remember.
I think it's great for gamers.
It is.
You know, I think that's like fantastic. They had that subscription service. You have access to all this stuff at launch. You don't have to worry about a lot of the other bullshit. But I just don't know if it's a good business strategy.
I know Game Pass is generally disdained by developers because of just the way that it works behind the scenes. But for gamers, it is a really good strategy. Basically, for developers, it's just exposure. But for gamers, it's solid. I mean, 15 or to $18 a month, and you get to play all of these games at launch. And then, of course, you could buy it if you wanted. But most games can be completed in a month by most people. We're not talking about 400-hour games here.
Yeah, and it's just it's kind of similar to you remember we had that discussion about streaming and if it was better for the business, or the binge model versus the weekly model. Is it better for the business side versus the consumer? And I think there's like some similarities from that perspective on Game Pass. Obviously, Game Pass is just much better for gamers. There's no question it's much better for gamers, but it's terrible for the business side of things. It's awful.
I always say buy physical. I still try to buy physical and actually buy copies of games whenever I can. That will always be my take. But if you don't have a lot of money or you don't have a lot of space to keep games, whatever it may be, Game Pass is really good to at least test out games that you wouldn't otherwise purchase at full price.
Tomac for 20. Jeremy, if you want a good Giant Bomb clip, look up No, Don't Shake the Baby. That'd be a good laugh.
Yeah, I'm not even familiar with this channel at all. So this is the first time I've heard of him. Hopefully the last time I hear of him. But I will be talking about this more. I'll make videos on this Alyssa Mercante story because you got to grift. You got to grift.
Sideways Stand for 2. Alyssa don't want that smoke.
She's the one who said, "You're all pussies, fight me." And yet she's still not going to respond. Like, what kind of idiot move is that?
Just go retweet Vera's tweet. I retweeted it, so you gotta find it there if you want. But just go retweet her tweet. Signal boost it. Let's ratio the hell out of Alyssa. She'll see it eventually, and she'll probably ignore it.
I mean, I'm blocked, so I don't know if she'll ever respond to it. So if she responds to it, someone who's not blocked, if there's anybody in this world that's not blocked by her, screen cap it for me. But I don't think she's gonna respond.
I never even interacted with her, and she blocked me.
Yeah.
That shit pisses me off. Like when I'm not being mean to you. Well, at least not on social media.
What? You have crushed her on videos like crazy.
But what I mean is like, it's not like I'm sitting there replying or quote tweeting her or anything like that. Do you know what I mean?
Take it as a badge of honor. She actually searched you out to block you. Okay.
Yeah,
Beardo's not blocked. Beardo's not blocked.
I was blocked after the first video I made on her. It was like instant.
Let's see. Mark of Reality says, check the rants. We will catch up on the Rumble rants here. Mark of Reality for $5 says, still hoping we can arrange a cage match between Alyssa and Gina Carano because of Alyssa's threat to fight people physically.
I'd love that, but that is never going to happen.
Yeah,
she would if she won't take me up on it, there's no way she's going to take up a trained professional.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's not even realistic as much as it's funny. Like the most realistic thing is we need to push for Vera Dark versus Alyssa Mercante. There we go. Because if she's justified in not wanting to take a fight with Gina.
Oh yeah,
she's not justified in not wanting to take a fight with Vera Dark after she challenged. You know what I mean? That's where it comes into play. She's not justified in backing down from that after she's the one that threw the challenge out there to people.
Yeah.
Mark of Reality for 5, hoping beyond hope that Chrissy Mayer sees this Mercante rant. I think if you look at Chrissy's recent tweets, I think she's already planning on something. So never know. B. Barrett for 2. I want Gina Carano to accept Alyssa's fight challenge. You and a lot of others, apparently.
Yeah.
The Fresh Maker for 2. Vera and Ryan, and romance shipping soon to happen.
Someone gonna write a fanfic? Anybody?
Maybe.
Oh God, don't give him ideas. Don't give
Will
him
that be the
ideas.
thing that finally gets you guys' attention away from me and Brie Larson?
Maybe.
That'll finally be the thing that stops that.
You're the one that started that bullshit, okay?
She's the one that started it because she liked my tweet.
Yeah, and then you talked about it every fucking day for like a
Much
year.
like Alyssa Mercante, she searched me out. I didn't tag her. I didn't do shit like that. She searched me out and liked my tweet.
Somebody tagged her and said you're toxic and racist. That's what happened.
Yeah, and then she liked it.
No, what I think is
if that is the case, then that's even crazier. If someone tagged her like this piece of shit,
Listen,
transphobic, toxic man, like look at what he said, and then she liked it. Then
you see how much he's talking about it. He can't fucking stop talking about it. Yeah, he wants you guys to stop talking about it, but
I was ready to move on, and then you brought up.
But you're still talking about it.
Correct.
You just gotta ignore it. That's the only way you can move on.
She might.
There you go, Ryan. There you go, Ryan. Kevin, for a $100 and says just for Ryan. Look at that. He did change his avatar back, Ryan. He changed his avatar back
to the fucking retarded K.
That's right. So you didn't have that much influence on him. Thank you, Kevin, you mad lad.
Thanks, Kevin, I guess. No, thank you for the super chat.
I guess.
Where are we? T-Dog for 10. Remind people of what Halle Bailey and her boyfriend did to that pregnant working class salon owner. Her boyfriend told people to cry races, and then Bailey posted about being nice to each other too. I don't really have too much recollection of that story.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember that one.
Is it new?
Remember. I'm not
sure. That probably had to happen during like the Little Mermaid controversy and stuff.
Maybe sometime during that. Maybe she went to a salon to get her like eyebrows threaded or waxed or something. They tried to charge her extra because the amount of distance they had to cover between. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what exactly is going on. The Nets rack for 200 Danish. Can we all cash in something? Try to get Gina Carano for a one-fight contract. I'll gladly donate 200.
I think the only way Gina would be affiliated with this is if she's training someone.
Like
maybe
Vera
we could get
Dark.
her to train Alyssa.
No, train you.
We're
gonna get Gina.
Something.
We're gonna get Gina to train Vera Dark to destroy.
I think that'd be
Alyssa
the
Mercante.
only way we could get Gina affiliated with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gary's beard dingleberries for 2. I would fight eye liquor my cunty with pleasure. Joker's
Kevin dropped 20 gifted memberships. 20.
Who did?
Let's go, Kevin.
Kevin, thank you, Kevin. Even with your dumb profile picture, still a boss. Joker's disciple for 2, Jay dodging, but Vera is ready. Ryan's forehead big. Thank you.
Blacktop says, yo, let's see. Jeremy was playing games while I was on my way into work listening last night. Cobra Cast. How's he awake? How are you awake? You know what? It's just how everybody was thinking I wasn't going to show up. And I was like, we have a special guest. Of course I've got to show up. So I'm here. I'm tired, but I'm here.
Let's see. Where are we? Fuck. R.I.P. comic historian from Shitface Cockmaster. Yes, R.I.P.
What a
comic historian.
name.
Very sad. Also, like, crazy to see like good thoughts and well wishes. R.I.P. prayer hands from Shitface Cockmaster.
I know. We did talk about that a little bit earlier. R.I.P. It's awful, and the only information was released was from his wife through his Twitter account, and she said it was an accident. That's all we know. So ABF is in the house with a 50 gifted memberships.
Sheesh.
He don't miss. That's like 2 days in a row for you, ABF.
Well, he's
50
getting
gifted
ready, you know. He's getting his reality TV show ready to rake in the money.
That's right. That's right. I can't. Well, when is I just can't even imagine how bad it's going to be. It's probably going to be a shit show.
Oh, yeah.
But it's meant to, we talked about it yesterday. It's meant to give him a good light while all this other legal stuff's going on with him. Fucking whatever. Alec Baldwin. What a weirdo.
Yep.
Well, that scene in The Departed, remember when he like calmly calls, who is that he slaps somebody. It's one of the agents or something. It's just like he's unhinged, and it's like he's not even acting at that point. He's just
no.
like pretend it's just some woman on the set of your film. Just beat the shit out of her, Alec Baldwin.
He doesn't
I love
care.
that movie.
It's one of the best movies ever.
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin's figure says the Baldwins is gonna be great.
I guess we got to talk a little bit about Disney Star Wars, though, because just like we've seen so often from Disney, a show comes out, gets massive backlash, and they immediately try to do some PR spin about how it's actually a massive success. Even though it's getting hated on, even though so many people seem to not like this, it's just getting so many views. We talked about this, what was it, Friday, when they came out with the news when we did the stream here? The Acolyte reaches 4.8 million views in one day, the biggest Disney Plus launch of 2024. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can look at this. One, Disney Plus has not launched anything of note so far in 2024.
Nope.
The most high-profile release was Echo, the Echo series, which they tried to come out and say it's a massive success, only to find out that it was actually the lowest rated in terms of audience tuning in, the lowest viewership Marvel show we've seen in history. Yet they try to do the same thing. We've never heard first day viewership before for a Star Wars show or any Disney Plus show. And they failed to mention that 4.8 million views was not just on the premiere episode. It was actually on both episodes, combining those viewer totals to make it look more impressive. Yeah. And everybody fucking ran with it. This is what they wanted. They wanted the mainstream to defend them, even though it's being review bombed. It's breaking ratings records. Well, now we know the fucking truth. And the truth is a lot further from the reality they tried to present. Just as we suspected from the beginning, The Acolyte, a show made by Leslie Headland, Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, that wasn't about a show for Star Wars fans or honoring George Lucas. Instead, it was something that they could use to make Star Wars into what they've always wanted it to be.
Yep.
Full of identity politics and diversity at the forefront, and story is the last thing they were thinking. Turns out, people weren't very interested. The first episode of The Acolyte reached 11 million views in its first 5 days, almost 3 million short of what Ahsoka achieved in the same amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And if you remember, if we piece these things together, they tried to do the same shit for Ahsoka. They bragged about 14 million views on the premiere, and it turned out when we got all the numbers that it was the lowest viewership of any Disney Star Wars show, period, ever. Well, now we have something that's broken that record. That is 25% fewer people tuned into The Acolyte. It's exactly what we said. It's an embarrassing disaster.
It is. And the thing with it is they have tried so heavily to market this series. They have been doing interviews for weeks. There's been advertisements on Twitch and on YouTube, and they have been desperate for this to be successful, but it was never going to be. I understand that they wanted to make a Star Wars series that is female centric. And while, yes, we know how Hollywood is and how terrible these series have been, they still at least could have put a little bit of effort into it and cast, passionate actors, maybe some writers who actually know what they're talking about. I don't think we ever expected this to be a 10 out of 10, but it could have at least been watchable, and it's not. And now we have the media trying to run smoke screens for the audience scores being so low. If they want to change Star Wars, they have to fire everyone that's involved. They have to start over and actually make something good. The Force's female bullshit is not working for them. And of course, they need to drop the focus on representing everyone under the sun. Simply, they just need to make good stories, and they're not capable of doing that anymore. And then we see things like this, and it's hilarious to see the media scramble, but we knew that it was going to happen.
Yeah, well said. And it's kind of at a point where we've talked about this more times than I can count, but this is never going to get better in reality because we've seen it far too long. And again, my moment of realizing that was Rise of Skywalker. After the Rise of Skywalker came out and failed, I did believe that things were going to change at that point. I was like, okay, this is, and then of course we did start to get things like The Mandalorian and, but then they fired Gina Carano after season 2. And it was just clear that this is never this company has been completely hijacked by propaganda and social justice, and there's no going back. And now we've reached the point where the Acolyte is the worst thing we've probably seen up to this point with Disney Star Wars, which speaks volumes because we live in a post Kenobi world. We live in a post Rise of Skywalker and Last Jedi world. And the people that have seen it said Book of Boba Fett and season 3 of Mandalorian were absolutely horrendous as well. I didn't see those. Ahsoka was terrible from what everybody says. Then we get Andor, which a lot of people liked, but no one watched it. And here we are now at the Acolyte.
More people watched that than Ahsoka when it was all said and done.
Yes.
Their
The
premieres
Acolyte?
were effectively the same numbers,
Yeah.
tied for lowest, but over time, more people watched Andor than Ahsoka.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Noted. But even still, I mean, that just shows you how badly this entire brand has been damaged. And now people are simply watching for the train wreck, and they're getting better marketing than they've ever gotten. Because of Chris Gore. And that's because Chris Gore is basically telling us that episode 3 is going to be the worst thing ever. It's going to break Star Wars. So I say that obviously in a joking way, but tonight is episode 3. The much discussed episode 3 is happening tonight. And I do think people are going to tune in just to see exactly how bad this train wreck is going to be. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to pronouns in Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that there is anything they could do to severely continue damaging the reputation of Star Wars because it is at such a low point. But yeah, I do think that this episode is going to have the highest viewership of all of them simply because they've basically hyped up the fact that this is going to divide people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to have the highest viewership because I think the people that did potentially give it a chance, I don't think they're coming back for the next one. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah,
you're going to see a fall off consistent with what we saw with something like Ahsoka. And I had questions because there was so much controversy surrounding this. And we hear all the time, why are you guys, you're just going to make more people watch it. Guess what? We made a
They're
lot more videos bashing the Acolyte than we did Ahsoka before it came out. Yet here we are. A massive drop off in viewership, even from Ahsoka. But I still myself was wondering, is it just because people want to tune in to see the train wreck? And terrible, worse than we could have imagined. We should have known when they fucking announced that first day viewership bullshit that they knew it was going to be very, very bad.
yeah.
And I'm glad to see, there we go. Chris Gorse's pronouns in the 4th episode, actually.
4th episode. So 3rd episode is where the force is basically broken, and then 4th episode pronouns. Go ahead, Ryan.
And if you pay attention to what they say and how they say it, you can see through it. But that first announcement of those first day ratings, breaking record, blah, 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 that stuck in so many people's minds. You saw it repeated time and time again by these Disney Star Wars shills, really. I thought it was going to be a flop, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? It is a flop. And you were tricked by the media and by Disney because you're such a retarded fuck. You're that easy to fool that they can play the same game time and time again. Doesn't matter if it's with Ahsoka. Doesn't matter if it's with Echo. Doesn't matter if it's like from Rings of Power and that bullshit 25 million number that they put out. These people continue to get tricked because they're too low IQ. They're too stupid to read between the lines of this Disney fuzzy math.
And like I've said, you can tell when something is actually being discussed on a different level on social media. We don't need the actual numbers to tell us if it's actually connecting with the community or connecting with people online or connecting to normies. Again, nobody's going to deny that Baby Yoda was a massive fucking hit. It just was.
Yeah.
And The Mandalorian season 1 and 2 were big time hits. Everybody was talking about them. Everybody was discussing them. Normies were talking about them. Discussions were going on. While I didn't watch season 3, nobody was talking about season 3. Nobody was talking about it. People were not talking about Ahsoka. It just weren't. The discussions were not there. Do you need to be told that Infinity War made a bunch of money to realize that it was a huge success? Do you need to be told that Spider-Man No Way Home made a bunch of money to realize it was a success? We heard everybody talking about it. Everybody was buzzing about it. So no one is actually talking about the Acolyte in terms of the show itself, theorizing, talking about this character, that character, this moment. No one fucking cares because it's a shit show.
Yeah, and even if you look at things like the audience scores, the media is trying to paint it as, oh, it's a vocal minority of people who are review bombing it. It's happening consistently with every single piece of content they're putting out. It's not a vocal minority when you've got thousands of people leaving reviews and millions of people talking shit about the content that they're putting out simply because it's not good. They need to put storytelling first again. They need to fire all of the activists, and they actually need to get passionate people on sets, but we clearly see that that's not going to happen anytime soon, if it ever does, which it probably won't.
Exactly. All right, Ryan.
What?
No, you just like you want to talk. Go.
Ryan,
There,
for 20
see?
bucks. I thought we'd hit rock bottom, but apparently Headland is proving there is no bottom. Well, the bottom when Leslie Headland was involved was probably usually Harvey. Sooner or later, Disney investors will surely call an end to the bleeding, Well, I don't know. I think it's anytime soon. I don't think it's anytime soon.
Again, 2019, that's what we thought. Okay, Rise of Skywalker failed. They lost 50% of the audience from The Force Awakens. Clearly, they're going to start fixing things, and clearly that was wrong. So again, the consistent stance I've had is that Star Wars is dead. It's never coming back. That is my mindset. Now you can hypothetically go, well, Jeremy, if they actually did what the fans wanted, then yes, it could return. But that's not going to happen under the current leadership at Disney, which is something we're going to be dealing with for the foreseeable future. So from that perspective, it is absolutely dead, and it is not coming back. It does not represent George Lucas's Star Wars in any way, shape, or form, and that is the reality of the situation.
100%. I don't see a clear-cut way that they could actually turn this around, that they could turn Star Wars around at this point. They'd have to rehire people. They'd have to completely, wipe the amount of activists that are on sets and doing the writing and the producing. They'd have to start actually picking actors with some kind of connection. And I feel like there's so much that's missing from Star Wars that they can't get it back. Even look at the upcoming Star Wars Outlaws game that's releasing. They think $130 is what that game is worth. And over the past few days at the Summer Games Fest events, we have been seeing gameplay of it, and it just looks like trash. Even those people don't get it. And we did have a few really good Star Wars games over the past few years, like Fallen Order, for example. But those are so few and far between.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had so few, period. Like the fact that we've had so few actual Star Wars games released is insane, considering the amount of Star Wars games that were put out between, I don't know, say like 1997 and 2010, 2012. Like
insane amount of games, unbelievable amount of games. And since Disney has purchased Lucasfilm, they shut down LucasArts, and
a big part of that was the EA contract, right? When you decided that no longer were you going to let a bunch of different studios handle it. It was specifically just EA. So that alone is going to hamper you and have the output be a lot less.
Yeah.
But now they've opened it up. We're going to start to see a lot more, but I don't know if we're going to see anything that's good.
And the
Probably
fact that they
not.
botched Battlefront so bad. And again, you're talking to somebody who did enjoy Battlefront 2015 and 2017. I enjoyed the multiplayer aspects of them. The campaign was horrendous in the second one. We didn't have one in the first one. But the people just, look at the excitement when the Battlefront 2 2017 announcement happened. And that was back when everybody was still kind of all in on Star Wars. And you had like all three of the eras that were being intertwined. And then they just fucked it up with the loot boxes and all of that. It was such a, and I don't think they ever regained it. Obviously Battlefront 2 2017 sold a shit ton of copies, but the game didn't actually get good until I think, was it like 2019 is when they actually made the game right. 2 years after release is when the game started working well for people.
And they had already started losing people at that point. And there have, again, been good Star Wars games. It's like, look at the Knights of the Old Republic remake. There was so much hype surrounding it. Now we know it's basically in development hell. It's changed studios. They had Sam Maggs, who back during Gamergate once said she was raped in Grand Theft Auto and it traumatized her, writing on that game. And now she's gone and she's working at Wizards of the Coast. They can keep her. But we have seen projects be announced that people were genuinely excited for. But then when you start actually looking at the details, people affiliated, that hype dies off. So they have the opportunity to do really good shit. They're just not doing it. They're not pushing those projects forward. They're not putting the money towards it, even though a Knights of the Old Republic remake would sell really well.
I don't want these fucks touching Knights of the Old Republic.
I don't either. It's one of my
Unless there's
favorite games of all time, but I would like it with, updated music, updated graphics. But there were rumors that they were going to make Revan a set female gender, which is absolutely ridiculous.
You don't need any writers, period, for that game.
No,
if you have anyone
just
hired to write, it's a fucking problem because there's nothing that needs to be changed. There's thousands of lines of dialogue that's already set in stone. You don't need to change any of it. If they did change any of it, it's because of activism.
Whether they will change it.
These things aren't okay in a modern game for a modern gaming audience, or because they want to push something else. I agree with you. I think it would be. Listen, I love the turnstile combat in KOTOR. That's very dated for people now. We saw something like Baldur's Gate, obviously. Like, you have a couple things that'll take off, but for the vast majority of people out there, you know what they'd probably like? A total remaster of the combat system with the story saying exactly the same way. But they were never going to do that.
And it's like they were putting effort in because they got several voice actors back who worked on the original game, like Jennifer Hale. She is going to be voicing Bastila, which is absolutely insane and hype. But at the same time, it's in dev hell. That is one project that people would buy, but it wasn't prioritized. And now we're probably never going to get it, which I would rather not have it because I don't want them to mess it up. But I'll be honest, I would play it, I would buy it, and it will probably be semi-enjoyable. But I don't think we're ever going to get it at this point.
Yeah, it'll be like Jolie Bindo is actually kicked out of the order because he's fucking black. Like they'll do a bunch of random shit like that they'll put into this fucking game.
Yeah, and then Mission is probably going to be some strong, independent woman who doesn't need Zalbar and all this shit.
And also gay.
Yeah, probably.
Do you guys like anything? Well, I like Super Chats and Donald Trump. So
I like Elden Ring, Ghost of Tsushima. I like Knights of the Old Republic, and I like Dark on Netflix. It's my favorite show.
Dark is phenomenal.
Dark is fucking awesome.
It's hard to follow, but it is fucking tastic.
Yes.
It's really good.
I don't like anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can tell. We can tell.
Yeah. If you're looking for positivity, go over to my CobraCast stream, and we praise Donald Trump for 2 hours. So if you're looking for positivity, you can go over there.
That Trini Gamer, member for 6 months. I think we should ignore this crazy woman. She's just farming for attention.
No, Vera Dark is very nice. Oh, sorry.
No, they're talking about Alyssa.
I'm fucking with
Jeez, you're targeting your audience.
Yeah. There's some people like, just don't ever talk about this thing. Don't ever talk about that thing. If that was the case, we'd never fucking talk about anything. Like,
true.
Whatever. Phoenix for 10. We got a fight bar in Sturgis called Knuckles. They have an octagon.
Yeah.
There you go. Fatawan orders 66 Big Macs for 2. I'm hungry. I'm going to push Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's the fucking best name. That's what it's got to be. Quentin, member for 11 months. How about Gina Carano accept the challenge? Just had my 21st anniversary last Friday. Closed on our first house Friday.
And look at that
199.
And look at that 199 hat in the profile picture and the G&G shirt. That's what's up.
Congrats on all of that.
Yeah.
Guys, I got to be honest. I know you're all pushing for Gina Carano. I don't think
It's not going to
Carano
happen.
has any interest in fighting Alyssa Mercante.
It would
You
not
got
happen.
a realistic challenger here on the stream, Vera Dark.
We could probably have Gina show up.
Yes.
But not be affiliated with it directly.
Gen X Memories. Good to see you on here again, Red. These two bickering shit kickers need all the help they can get.
They do. They do.
So what's a shit kicker?
I don't know.
Like if we said
It's
shit licker, I
amazing.
would be like, okay, a shit kicker. Like somebody who just happens to like accidentally step on dog shit outside. Or I don't know what that is. Joker's Disciple for 2. Hunter can hide in Ryan's gigantic forehead. Huge. Thank you. Legendary Scrub for 2. Jeremy is the gay. Diz the Jizzbot 199, guilty all because Hunter got high.
Yeah, I'll probably do a stream about this later before Tuesday night's main event.
Yanks fan, hey Jeremy, you gonna have a live reaction to the Acolyte tonight on TNME?
No, not a live reaction, but we'll talk about it after. I'll make a video after.
Tobias for 5. I don't count for that, Vera. I'm only a simp for furry gals. Also, can't wait for the new Hunt Showdown update that gives us a new map in the bayou.
At least you're being honest.
Yeah,
That's
at
the only
least
thing I
that.
can say.
To a fault, some would say, Tobias. Is it, like, if you what would be lower than simping for an e-girl on the internet? Simping for a furry. Thank you, Tobias. Animated Andy for 2. I'll simp for Vera. Can you blame me? There we go. We got different opinions on simping in the chat.
Yeah.
You thought this was an echo chamber. Bruce for 5. How can Jeremy focus the rest of the stream with that Hunter Biden conviction boner?
I'm actually not as thrilled about it as some might think, because I think there's more going on here, but we'll see.
Has anyone else noticed recommendations on YouTube and X recently that have been very pro left wing? I'm seeing loads of feeds that are anti right wing come up. Nope. Haven't seen that at all.
No.
My guess is that you probably watched something that kind of like led you that, or searched something or whatever that kind of led it to that. I don't see any of that shit. So, Taker for 5. Lee Jung Jae was born in Seoul, South Korea, and Headland names his character Master Seoul. Really, Leslie? What's next? Master Ho Chi Minh? Master Tokyo?
She infuriates me, especially with that comment that she recently made about R2D2 being a lesbian. She thought she was trolling people, but we know that she was serious. She is absolutely ridiculous.
I think probably just because most lesbians are shaped like R2D2. She was like, must be a lesbian. Chris Bolts for 5. I think we need to call up Street Beefs. They're trying to get more ladies in the ring. Barrett, do you train? We do at least know Alyssa works out.
Does she? I don't watch her social media because I'm blocked by the little bitch, so I wouldn't know. It'd be great if she would unblock me though.
Yeah, I think she does work out. I'm blocked too. The Wolf from Heart for 199. Save Filoni's dog. I will not stop the campaign. Dave Filoni's dog didn't kill himself. Freddie Yankoba. Can Jay get Alyssa to FNT? Hi, Vera.
Hi. That's me.
I don't think even Jay has those powers. Jay should fight her and be the first intergender MMA champion. B Grows for 20. I'm sick and had to call out from work today. Thanks for the distractions. Y'all are the best. Hey, I'm sorry you're not feeling good, man, but I hope you feel better. Darth Maul's lower half. Remember, for 4 months. Gina has a much more important fight in a courtroom tomorrow. Let's wish her all the best of luck. I want to see this lawsuit going to trial. I think a lot of people want to see that, 100%.
Definitely.
Pre-down course for 5. Please play more Cold War, Jeremy. Not core, though. Play hardcore. Only Figs play core. Also, you got a team kill for a couple matches.
I like playing hardcore when it's private matches. Playing online hardcore, it's camp. All it is people just sitting in a fucking corner and camping the whole fucking match. It's a lot more boring to play it online that way. And you'll hear a lot of gamer words from me. So
Chris Bolts for 5. By the way, Mr. H Reviews likes him some Brie Larson. Ryan, stop messing with Vera. Don't let some Brit take your woman.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. Wake me when she likes his Twitter. I guess. The Gendermancer for 99 cents. Thank you. Master of the DSLs for Canadian $6.99. Vera, if you did fight, what would your entrance music be?
Something Doom. Something from the Doom soundtrack for sure.
Nice.
There you go. Joshua Dillon. At first, I thought you said Dune, and I was thinking,
I cannot. No.
That seems like a weird entrance thing.
Yeah.
Have you seen
maybe for like somebody from the Middle East? But,
no.
Have you seen where somebody took the Doom? I think it was Doom Eternal, the trailer, and they put the Mario Odyssey music with it. It's fucking gold.
It's hilarious.
It fits so perfectly. I couldn't believe how good it fit.
Yep.
Joshua Dillon for 5. Is there any chance Star Wars can be saved? Could Disney run into the ground so hard they're forced to sell it? Maybe to a super fan? You guys need to stop thinking that that's going to happen fucking tomorrow or the next year or the year after that. If that ever did happen, this is significantly down the line. The reality is, as much money as Disney fucking loses, on all these new projects they put out. The simple facts that they own the rights to these characters, that they own the rights to the original trilogy and the prequels, like all of these things, that is extremely valuable. They're not just going to fucking sell it off.
Oh, yeah, no.
T-Dog for 199. Look up the story, you fools. Get it out there. Well, we'll look into it, T-Dog. Dave Chandler for 2. I'm sick of scrawny nerds who think they're tough. Thank you, Dave. Fear of the Lethal for 199. Jeremy dropped gamer words on COD last night. Proud.
Just a few.
ABCD, yeah, for 199. Anna, that Star Wars girl, would make Alyssa cry in a fight. Maybe.
Yeah.
Fatawan, order 66 Big Macs for 2. Anyone seen my Big Macs? And you let him escape, just like the guy you're supposed to be watching, you fat fuck. T-Dog, throwing on the radar because she's a black woman. Yeah, it's true. I never make stories about black women doing things. She and her boyfriend need to learn you can't use your fame to attack working class people.
Yeah, I haven't seen that video, so.
The Nets rack for 50. Not even pirates want to watch this show. Torrent number are super low. A friend told me.
Not surprising.
It's not even being pirated.
No.
Too ugly to assault. Leslie
crazy.
Headland made a show that's too bad to pirate. Master of the DSLs for $6.99. Lesbian Headlamp looks like if Gina Carano was a playable character in an N64 game. Graham for $6.69. I hope we get an intense scissoring scene tonight while Jedi Master McChicken 66 records in the corner. I don't put it out of the question. Osama bin farting on children.
Good God. What the hell is that?
For Aussie $14.99. It's anus poking month. Fuck that. Take
Holy
drugs.
crap.
Grape sluts. Make fun of gay clubs. Men who wear makeup get aware, wake up, and get a sense of humor. Quit trying to censor comments. This is for your kids' amusement.
That's an Eminem line.
Sounds like a Hollywood undead song.
Bungles Twanger for 10. Jeremy, I know it's off topic, but did you see what happened on the Capitol steps in South Dakota? It happened in several other cities in state 2. Very weird. What do you think it's all about?
Insurrection-y. I just tweeted out my thoughts on the Hunter Biden trial, or the verdict. It's very convenient.
Lord Botha,
very convenient.
Lord Botha for 5. No passionate actors. Acolyte Vera. What about the guy who plays Yord? He had some good insight on the morality of Anakin blowing up the Death Star.
I know. Crazy. I haven't seen passion in Star Wars in years. I guess in Obi-Wan, there were some decent performances, but it wasn't enough to save the show.
Yeah, that same dude, Charlie Bennett, I think is that actor's name who plays Yord.
Oh, yeah. He was in like Russian Doll, which Leslie Headland wrote. Yep.
Yes.
So.
And he did record a promo that Star Wars tweeted out the other day. He's like,
yep, Anakin.
Well, no, not the Anakin thing. That was like during an interview. He recorded something that's like, I think the Bad Batch is fucking sick. The Bad Batch is so cool. It's like, Jesus Christ, what are we doing here? Fatawan, order 66 Big Macs for 2. The lack of white TV show makes me tired. Thank you. Golden Nuggets, Rick James meets Star Wars. I'm a Jedi, bitch. That is what she looks like with that hair. Antrax say for Belgian 5, maybe. Ryan's right about the Acolyte. There will be a twist, aka Fight Club. That would explain a lot of crap like the same hairstyle, story plot, etc. I'm just saying Leslie Headland has obviously talked about a lot of things that inspired her, and then we see it like very much directly in the show. She also did say Fight Club. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is some sort of twist like that, if they do pull a Tyler Durden, but I don't know. TJ, remember for 21 months, Bad Boys 4 was awesome as fuck. I'm going to see it again. It was so damn funny. Definitely recommend it.
I want to go check it out.
I'm going to go watch it Wednesday or Thursday, maybe. Be the Silent Games. Hadouken. Thank you. The Fresh Maker for 2. Perfect Dark will be DOA thanks to DEI. Not sorry.
Yeah, probably.
Miami Catfish for 10. Is it trash on its own? I don't see any other arguments here except it doesn't align with expectations. Maybe I'm stupid. Well, maybe you are stupid, but maybe it actually did align with expectations. That instead of a story instead of making a show where the principal idea is to make something for Star Wars fans or to be in the world of George Lucas, you set out with diversity and identity politics in mind. As a result of that, who do you go out and hire? You hire people for the writer's room who have never seen Star Wars before, admittedly have never seen Star Wars before, and you do it because of their sexuality and because of their race, self-admittedly. And then what happens in the actual show itself? This is not a breakdown of The Acolyte. We're not doing a review of The Acolyte on the show. We're covering news topics. But if you actually watch it, you can go check out EFAP movies that I did with Mahler and some of the guys over there. There are so many problems with this show. From the fact that there's no scope or scale in Star Wars anymore, to the idea that you introduce that the Jedi are more than willing to just mind control everyone, to pull their thoughts out of their minds. They could solve any fucking problem immediately, but they only do it when it's convenient to them. The fact that you have someone accused of killing a Jedi Master, and you just decide to fucking lock him in a random brig with a bunch of other fucking prisoners in an unsecured space and not even escort them back. And that's just to name a few of the massive faults and flaws in the storytelling, the complete inability to make people care about these characters in any way, shape, or form. And of course, the general idea that, once again, this show's based off of. The purpose of this show, in addition to seeing a bunch of black and gay people on screen, is to make the Jedi look like shit. Once again, everything's the Jedi's fault. They're just really bad people from this point of view. And a lot of people, they're not responding to it. The people that do give it a chance fucking hate it. So exactly. I don't know if that helps answer your question, Miami Catfish.
That was a nice little rant there, Ryan.
Yeah.
No. M. Spencer for 5. Free advice to Disney execs rebrand to Star Wars television and Star Wars cinema. You're welcome. Man, they should take a page out of Marvel's book there, I suppose. That's what Marvel's doing. K. Schwabble for 2. Imagine Nagasato with Nega bands. Nighty night. Yeah. Greg DeGoblin for 20. Jay's really carried this show with his deep and profound insights.
Jay's really added a lot to the show. Shout out to Junk 3PO. Really good job, man. He's
made this a great show today.
He's great.
He really did. He did a wonderful job.
No, it's Pad Juan. That's pretty good too. Chris Coran for 200 is guilty. Let's fucking go Trump.
Don't be so happy.
Jimber Jamber for 2. Midichlorians are stored in the balls. Maybe. BM for 10. Vera, she's all talk, won't commit like a typical commie. You need to shade her and talk about how she's in a much higher weight class than you. Hit her pride where she cares the most, her vanity.
The thing is that I don't like to insult people based on their looks, especially someone like Alyssa, who's so fucking stupid and can't even debate somebody. She can't even sit in the same room or on a live stream and talk to somebody she doesn't like. That right there is the biggest insult, and she did it to herself.
Yep. This is right here. Hang on. The person I highlighted earlier, I could tell they were so triggered. They've been in the chat the whole time. Now they're mad. That's why I said I like super chats and Trump, because I knew that would get them upset. So yes, we like super chats around here. So guys, don't send us money because it'll piss off this weirdo. Go ahead, Ryan.
Durag Vince for 199. I'll train you, Vera. Come over to my place.
I like it.
Based on what I've heard, you might want to be careful if you go spend some alone time with old Vince.
Yeah. His entrance was so fire, though.
Hell yeah. Vinnie Mac, baby.
Quagmire, a shit kicker is a rancher or a farmer for reasons. I look like a fucking farmer. Skywalker Club for 10. I'm someone who grew up with the TCW and Original 6 and really liked parts of Disney Star Wars like Rebels, Ahsoka, or some books like the Thrawn books. Acolyte isn't one of those parts.
There are so many good Star Wars books out there that they just kind of threw away. And it's sad because I know Leslie Headland is talking about how she'd love to do a Knights of the Old Republic show. That would be the most hated piece of content Disney could ever put out if they put someone like Leslie on a project like that.
Yeah, please stay away. She spoke multiple times about, I really want to take some of these parts of the EU and bring them to life. You want to bastardize it further with Dave fucking Filoni, this dude who loves to get fucking pegged while he rapes and pillages the corpse of the EU. Yeah, that's exactly what we need. This tag team at Lucasfilm of Leslie Headland and Dave Filoni, it's like my fucking worst nightmares continue to come true over and over again. Matt Guillemette for 2. Jokes about German sausage are the worst. Thank you. Suna Soul Silver for Canadian 5. I'd rather watch an anime about volleyball over today's modern Hollywood movies in theaters. My issue is my city don't have any showings for it. I'm sorry. Cole Hauser for 2. Ryan, it's Rigas and gay people. Praise Ara 199. I don't think I could say that. Edward Morris for 2. RIP Comic Storian, gone too soon. Yes, RIP to Comic Storian.
Yeah.
Veckel for 199. I don't like the way Ryan says nega bands.
Says it very confidently. Says it very confidently.
You have to, or else you might get tongue-tied.
I've never done that on a stream. I've never accidentally said
Crunchy
anything.
Ninja.
Yeah, no, Munchie.
Whatever.
Munchie Ninja. Although I said a different letter that starts with an N and ends with an A.
Andre says, take my shit currency. It is shit. 2,500. The fuck? Joshua Miller for 199. React to Dragon Age gameplay trailer. It's supposed to come out today. Maybe we'll cover it another time.
I'm sure Vera's going to be on, on that one.
Oh, yeah. I'll be on it. The first trailer that they put up a few days ago from Summer Games Fest is getting absolutely annihilated. Absolutely ratioed. It's hilarious.
It feels like ever since Dragon Age Origins, fans have just been more and more disappointed. You know what I mean? With some of the stuff they've done. People just want an Origins remake. That's what they really want.
Basically.
Anak Mamad for $10. Fun fact, the body positive Jedi was originally going to have a lead role in the Acolyte. His role was reduced after Leslie caught him using May's dagger to butter a supreme pizza. Maybe.
Jeremy had his PewDiePie bridge moment, says Golden Nuggets. His moment was a little cooler than mine.
Yeah, he meant it, which was like the best part. And it was a hard R. Like, that's respectable. Jeremy just fucking got tongue-tied. PewDiePie said it the way you're supposed to say it when you're mad. War Wizard for 199. I love the way Ryan says nega bands. Thank you. James Opt for 20. Here, take my money, clowns. Simp mode on. Not you, Vera.
What?
Wow.
Well, that's fucked up.
Wow.
I know.
I respect the honesty, though.
I think that he's saying you guys are the clowns, but I'm not. Because it says simp mode on.
Okay.
Yes.
Let
yes,
the woman outsmart
you.
us on the super chat.
Yeah.
He explained it.
There we go.
The
Damn.
colon is confusing.
So he was
there.
simping. He was. It was me, Austin. He was simping all along.
The colon is very confusing in that statement.
I love chat.
there.
Vera is woke. That's me.
That's the weirdo. That's the
Yep,
weirdo.
I
that's
know.
really mad.
I know.
So yeah,
Don't
he's
wear it
really
out.
mad about you.
Daniel
You know
Davis
what?
for 10. Vera, what is the music genre you're playing before your streams? I love it. Who thinks Hunter will be pardoned? I love the backpack, Jeremy. Hail 199.
I actually like it. I play 80s synthwave at the start of my streams, unless I'm playing the video game soundtrack that
Nice.
the game
and
that
how-
I'm streaming.
How many subscribers you at now?
I am at 91,000
Let's go.
and something or another.
He's closing in on 100K.
Yeah.
So again, I know we've had a great crowd here today. So make sure you subscribe to Vera Dark. Make sure we drop a link to her channel in the chat, mods. Just spam it out there as we wrap this show up.
Ronan for $1 on Rumble says, Ryan, wear a cowboy hat. It will hide that forehead I've been hearing about today. Thanks for the advice. Groovy Lava Squirrel Medic for 5. How to save Star Wars. Comment a director in the Darth Bane trilogy. Make it dark and gritty. How hard is this?
Way too hard.
Apparently impossible. SBZ for 5. Oh no, I just dropped a super chat for these clowns. Gosh, I'm so clumsy. Cole Hauser, Jeremy, Yo Joe, Glenn Powell for Duke, Yo Joe.
It's the perfect casting. I saw your tweet yesterday about it. It's the perfect casting. It'd be
He's
fantastic.
a good actor.
It won't happen, which is that means that's why it's perfect, because you know it won't happen.
I've heard good things about his new movie on Netflix, Hitman or whatever.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean,
probably
it
gonna give
was
it a try.
definitely something to sit and watch if you're bored. It was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was enjoyable.
Joshua Dillon for 199. Thoughts on the new Alien movie? I don't know. I haven't even seen the newest trailer, so
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I'm cautiously optimistic, but that's just how it goes when we're talking about video games and movies. You can't get too excited because then you end up disappointed.
There's been so many great entries in the Alien franchise recently. Jimber Jamber for 5. Don't forget they introduced forced teleportation in Rise of Skywalker. Could explain Fight Club theory. Force teleportation. Well, they did the whole them like being able to fight each other and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one had the Force healing?
That was Rise of Skywalker.
Was that Rise of Skywalker
Yeah.
too? They all run together for me at this point. They're all
Well, awful.
actually, no. I still can separate Force Awakens because I enjoyed Force Awakens.
I agree. I thought it was a good start to a trilogy, and then they just fell off.
Yeah. Now looking back on it, Force Awakens is obviously not. Retroactively, I can look at it and go, yeah, all the problems were obviously here from the beginning.
Right.
But at the time, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything about that movie's fucking dog shit, from like the world building to like the fact that they the way that they show like the New Republic government versus this spin-off fucking resistance, what the First Order, all of these things, there is no logical way to make it make sense, which is why now you're starting to see the only way they can make it happen in like the Mandoverse is to show the New Republic as the most incompetent, bumbling, fucking retarded people possible in order for them to like let these things happen. I hated Force Awakens. Also, it's unforgivable what they did to Han Solo, not just his death, but what they did to his character. The fact that they destroyed all of the character development, one of the best characters in the history of cinema ever had in Han Solo. You reverted all of that to make him an even shittier person than he was in the fucking beginning. A deadbeat dad and a failed father. Unforgivable.
But
yeah,
I'm going to say something. At least JJ got something right. He made Mark Hamill shut the fuck up, which is what we all wish we could do. Make Mark Hamill shut the fuck up. That's the one thing that I will not criticize about TFA now, which is the one thing I did criticize about TFA. Like, man, can't believe we didn't get to hear from Luke Skywalker. Now I look back, I'm like, damn, JJ had it right all along. Just make Mark Hamill shut the fuck up.
it's too bad he's so obnoxious now because he is a good actor and he is a good voice actor. He did great in the Arkham games. It's just disappointing to see the direction that he's gone on social media and how outspoken he is, and he just doesn't fucking care about the fans that he's gained over the decades. He just cares about, oh, well, if you don't agree with me, then I don't like you. And
he's made it very clear.
Shit.
He's made it very clear. He hates you if you disagree with him.
And that's sad.
The Fresh Maker for 2, can we have 1 minute in prayer for Comic Storian? I don't think we're going to do that on the stream. Certainly, if you do want to, I certainly encourage you to pray for him and his family and everything like that.
Absolutely.
But, we appreciate it. Eddie's Symbol, member for 12 months. If they could create heroes that were as compelling as the Jedi, they wouldn't have to try to tear down the Jedi. It's a skill issue. True. Block Boy Games for 2. Thank God for you guys, or I may have watched The Acolyte.
That's what we're here to do.
We're all caught up.
All caught up. Another one in the books. Glad to have Vera Dark here. What do you got going on, Vera? What streams you got going on? You're covering a lot of gaming stuff. You're on top of the gaming industry, all the news. So tell everybody what you got going on.
Yeah, over the past week, I streamed all of the major Summer Games Fest events. Now those are over, and over the next week and a half, I'm just finishing up my 3rd Elden Ring playthrough on stream in order for my playthrough to be completed when Shadow of the Erdtree releases in like 9 days. And I'm so fucking pumped. I will be streaming at launch day. And sorry, I gotta say it, DLC is gonna be game of the year. There's no way when we have Dustborns coming out and Suicide Squads that Shadow of the Erdtree is going to be overshadowed by literally anything that's releasing. So, just talking about Star Wars and the video game industry, narrative consultation companies, and prepping for Shadow of the Erdtree.
There we go. And looking forward to it. And you're doing great work over there. And the march to 100K is where she's at. So you guys make sure you go subscribe to her, support her over there. Ryan, what do you got going on?
Just making videos on all this crazy shit going on. That's it.
Yeah, and I'm probably a little bit later, I'll go live and talk about the Hunter Biden stuff over on D-Day Cobra. That'll probably do that before Tuesday night's main event tonight. So I know that's a big story right now. I don't buy any of it, but that's a conversation we can have over there. But I just put out a tweet basically giving my general thoughts on it. And there's Perry Chan in the chat. So what up, Perry Chan? I saw we had one more come in, right? Where was it at?
Pre-Dawn Corpse,
Oh, here we go.
Aliens or Starship Troopers? You gay, Jeremy.
Like, you talking about Aliens, the second film versus Starship Troopers? Is that the question?
Maybe he's talking about gaming too. It could be a couple things. I don't know.
That's tough, man. Starship Troopers is fantastic.
Yeah.
It really is. That's a tough one. That's a tough call. Probably have to go with Aliens though, but man, it's so good. All right. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Have a great day, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone. Say bye, Ryan. Be nice, Ryan.